Hey everyone, I'm Kate. Welcome back to The Real American Housewife. Or if you're just joining us for the first time, I know there are a lot of new members in our Facebook group. I am so excited to have you here. So welcome. If this is your first video, you jumped in at a really exciting time because today is August 31st, which means tomorrow is September 1st, which is the most wonderful time of the year for a select few crazies in the world who love the Burr months, September, October, November, December, and all the joy and the holidays and everything that comes with it, you know, the snow and the cooler weather and just the magic of the season. I've always loved this time of year. It's always been so special and dear to my heart, and now that I have a family of my own, I just feel like, you know, you only have your kids home for 17, 18 years, and I just want to make the best of it. You know, I want to make I want to make it a magical time for my kids to remember and look back on, for my husband and I to cherish and establish some tradition and other things that we can carry with us through the years. So I understand that with enjoying the Burr months and the holidays comes an extreme amount of anxiety and stress and pressure. You know, maybe, you know, you, like a lot of people, have, you know, been a compulsive buyer, you know, of just all things fall and just trying to slap things together, or maybe it's just frozen you. Maybe you're stopped in your tracks because you know, don't know exactly what to do, and between work and school and, you know, outside activities, and everything else that's filling your calendar right now, you just feel like you can't possibly enjoy the short season that is fall. You know, fall is a transitional season. It's not like winter or summer where it goes on for months. You know, it's like you blink and it's over. And so there's even more pressure that, you know, if you can't fit fall into, you know, this month and a half time period, you know, you just miss it altogether. And, you know, I don't think that's true. I think that fall is a special time for families to decide what fall means to them, and to, you know, just kind of personalize the next couple of months and to curate an experience for your family and your loved ones that means something special to all of you. You know, it's about celebrating the people in your family, your children and your husband and yourself, and what you all enjoy together as a family. So that's kind of what I want to talk through today. I want to talk through forgetting all of the aesthetics from Pinterest and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook about what fall should look like, and you know, how everyone else is celebrating the season. And I want to focus in on today on what you can do to help your family experience the most enjoyable fall, and figuring out what that means for you. So we're going to talk a little bit about age-appropriate activities for your kids. We're going to talk a little bit about deciding what makes fall special for you and your husband. We're going to talk about a little bit about decorating and the pressures that go along with that, and what that could also include, that I feel like a lot of people miss, some easy things that you can do at home to make your home feel more like fall, to make your meals taste more like fall. So we're going to dive in. We're going to talk about all things fall today, and I hope that you find something that, you know, just kind of helps set your family on the right track for enjoying what is truly the most wonderful time of the year over the next couple of months. The first thing in deciding what fall means to your family, of course, is polling your family and letting everyone kind of indulge in what their perfect fall would look like and expressing that out loud. Maybe you talk about it at the dinner table, or everyone makes a list of if they were going to have a perfect fall, what would that look like? And it can be anything. It could be, you know, the taste of apple cider and donuts. It could be hay rides. It could be corn mazes. It could be more Halloween things, you know, dressing up and trick-or-treating and going to haunted houses and, you know, doing all of that. So this is, our daughter is 1 this year, and so she's not really in a place where she is aware too much of what's going on. She doesn't have favorite fall things. So it's kind of mostly up to my husband and I to enjoy the season right now and, you know, rope her in and have her participate and take fun pictures for us. And as she gets older, she can tell us, you know, what she thinks. But, you know, right now it's kind of just up to my husband and I to decide, you know, what fall looks like for our family. So I recently talked to my husband over dinner and I said, what is, you know, fall to you? September and October, I consider fall. You know, September 1st is tomorrow. That's my first official day of fall. So what does that look like for you? What are your non-negotiables you have to do every year to feel like you actually experienced fall and you didn't just miss it? You know, and so maybe it's more of a prioritized list between the two of you, you know, your top things that you'd like to do. Maybe you can't squeeze everything in. For my husband, I'll tell you one of his top things that I would have never thought of because that wasn't something for me growing up, but it means a lot to him, and that was a corn maze. He loves to do corn mazes. So that was on the top of his list, and I, you know, took some time to Google corn mazes in our area, and there's actually one. It's like a 2-acre corn maze just a few miles from here. So I wrote that down. That's something, you know, in September that we're going to make sure we do. For me, I love fall baking. I love using, if you're a part of my housewives group, you know I'm big into seasonal produce. So going to the farmer's market and using up all of the apples and the pumpkins and the squash and the blackberries and the fruits and the corn and, you know, everything that comes along with it. I'm a very foodsy person. So for me, just making sure that I have the time to cook my favorite recipes, explore new recipes, experiment with them. You know, I like to experience fall through food. And with that, you know, taking my daughter to cider mills, you know, she can't tell us what she loves about fall, but we know that she loves animals already. And so she loves petting zoos, and there's a small petting zoo at a cider mill nearby us. We had a wild card fallish day the other day. It was overcast, it was cooler, and so we took her up there. We capitalized on it as a fall day, and we let her do, you know, pet the goats that were there, and she had fun with that. And then she had her first cinnamon donut. It was fresh from the cider mill, and she absolutely loved it. And she had some apple cider, and she got to experience that, and, you know, seeing the look on her face and, you know, just kind of watching her and indulge in all that and have fun with that for the first time, you know, that kind of tapped into my spirit in terms of what fall, you know, was shaping up to look like. So since fall really hasn't even already begun, We made our list of what we're going to do in September and October. My husband and I are big football people, so usually Sundays are dedicated to football Sundays. I make a fun football meal, so I get to do what I want to do through food. I love to watch a game. My husband's more into the game. He gets to see his football games. We have friends over. It's kind of just a time of togetherness. So we've scheduled some football Sundays with our friends. Another thing that my family does every year, my extended family, is we do a chili cook-off, and all the men, make chili and we vote on it. And my husband's really into that, so of course the chili cook-off was a must-do. We have that plugged into our calendar. There is a cider mill a little bit of ways from here, maybe an hour, but it's mine and my husband's favorite. We've been going every year since we were dating, and that's a tradition that we love. So we have to go to this one cider mill. We took our daughter there last year. So my husband has already prepared that he's maybe going to take a PTO day, and we're going to take our daughter, during the day before she gets crabby, before bedtime, and maybe on the perfect fall day, maybe we just wake up and it's 50 degrees and it's the perfect cider mill day. And so he's prepared to just take a day, and we're going to go do that. So we talked about all of these things. We have our list of things made out, our must-haves that we're going to do. We're on the same page of, we're going to go to a cider mill during the week when it's not as busy. We're going to go during a time that's, good for our daughter, around her nap time and her bedtime. And then there's, that's our family-friendly activities. And then there's the married adult portion of it. So of course we want to make this all about our kids, but in the middle of all of that, my husband and I still want our date time. So what do we want our date nights to look like over the next couple of months? We want to do bonfires. We love bonfires. So, maybe we stay up late after the baby goes to bed, and, I can make some s'mores and some, apple cider mules and some cocktails, and we have, a bonfire. I love hay rides. I dabble into the Halloween part of it. I do Falloween, so I love the aesthetic of fall, and I also love Halloween. So there's some haunted hay rides that I would love to do. My husband loves haunted houses. So we've talked about maybe carving out a date night over the next, couple months or so that includes some of those activities. So we feel like we've gotten, our fixes. But either way, we've kind of prioritized what's important to me and what's important to my husband, and how we're gonna, incorporate our daughter into that. And that's all taken a little bit of planning. So my first suggestion to you would be to do the same. Talk to your family, discover what's important to them, and grab your calendar and make sure that you prioritize and set aside the time to do the things that, the top things that everyone loves. And I have always been a fall-winter person, so I save a lot of my PTO days for this time of year. Even before I was married and I had children, I would take PTO days just to bake, if that's what I needed to do, to feel like that was self-care for me. So, if you love fall and you feel like it often escapes your grip, make sure that you are scheduling in time for you. If that means you're sending the kids to school and your husband's going to work and you decide to play hooky and stay home and bake some fall treats and decorate your home, or go to a cider mill with your girlfriends, or, what have you, make sure that there's at least one day or one activity or something that you do for yourself to make you feel like you were in control and you experience the season and it didn't just pass you by. So the next thing I want to talk about that folds into curating a personalized fall season for your family is adapting what that means to the different stages of life that you're in. And sometimes that's hard, especially if you're a routine person like me, if you love tradition and stability and all things type A, it's hard to lean into that change, but that's what fall's all about, right? Is learning to see change is beautiful. So a perfect example this year is my family. I just turned 8 months pregnant. Our baby is due in mid to late October. And of course that kind of throws a wrench into our activities, right? There's going to be a certain time when I can't travel too far away from home because we're going to need to be by the hospital in case something happens. And I'm limited on what I can do. I love tasting hard cider. One of our favorite cider mills does a cider days where you can come sample all their new flavors, and obviously I'm out for that this year. So just kind of adapting to the seasons of life that you're in. If you're pregnant, if you're postpartum, if you are in a stressful financial season and you can't do too much, maybe some health issues are preventing you from doing too much. Fall is not the all-around joyful season that that everyone makes it out to be. It's not the Hallmark movie, right? So understanding your limitations and doing what you can with what you got, and that's where you're going to find the joy of the season, is not having these outlandish expectations when you're a little bit limited maybe this year. My daughter, like I said, she's 1, so she's not going to school and she's not really able to fully experience the season just yet. But of course, I'm excited for when she is able to do those things, and I have picked up some mommy ideas from my friends who have older school-age children, from Pinterest and from different things. Just small, simple things that are thoughtful, are age-appropriate, and keep their spirit up about the season, because fall is all about the spirit of the season, right? And I think for me, that's the most important thing, is not letting it get lost in the busyness of every day. Letting your kids know that that it is fall and there are things to look forward to. So I'll give you some ideas at the end of this video, some fun snack ideas that I found. So, taking a Sharpie and drawing a jack-o'-lantern face on the skin of the hard peel that your kid's not going to eat, of like their orange, or doing that on like the orange crackers that are filled with like cheese and peanut butter, and including a note, just a fun Halloween themed, note in their lunchbox or in their snack box, something to just refresh their spirit, something fun that, adds light into their day. I actually did something funny the other day, like this with my husband. I was at the store and I found the pumpkin cream Oreos, which if you haven't tried them, definitely try them. They're delicious. I feel like they have more cream in them than the regular Oreos, and they're just delicious. Anyways, I bought them, and I put a couple on a paper towel for my husband. He works from home in our basement, and I took a pen, and on the side of the napkin I wrote, "You are the pumpkin of my pie," and I spelled pie P-E-Y-E. And it's stupid, but I had fun doing it, and it just was a reminder to both of us of what time of year it is, and establishing that intimacy, and taking a breath from all the hustle and bustle of every day to just relish in the fact that we get to enjoy pumpkin Oreos, and it is our favorite time of year. So doing small things like that, don't overlook that. Don't think that that's because it's not the fall aesthetic, TikTok video of the year or something, that it's not going to mean something to your family, because your presence and your thoughtfulness and things that you do to bring fall into your home and to instill that spirit into your family, that's the important thing. That's how you celebrate fall. So other things that I look forward to doing with my kids are, I love books, and my daughter's starting to love us reading to her. So one of my favorite Halloween books as a kid was Room on the Broom. If you haven't read it, you have to read it. It's just a silly, funny little story about a witch and all of her friends. But I read that to my daughter, and I use silly witch voices, and I get very animated, and I get very into it, and she loves the entertainment. So it's getting her into it, even if she doesn't realize it's fallish. I do, and so for me, that's a way that I celebrate, and it is kind of getting her into it. Hopefully she will, start to remember these things. If you have a local secondhand store near you, especially a secondhand children's store, I know there's one in our neck of the woods called Once Upon a Child. They often have gently used children's books. And there's usually, Halloween books, Thanksgiving books, DVDs, The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, or, any of that. So if your budget is limited and you can't, go buy all these things brand new, like a lot of people can't, go to the secondhand store and see maybe what you can get, maybe a few DVDs or a few books to enjoy with your kids before bed, something to make them, something to give them something to look forward to. The other thing that's super easy and super fun and kind of establishes some anticipation and magic of the season, my favorite thing to do, especially in the fall and winter, is to watch movies. We love, I know the new Hocus Pocus movie is coming out at the end of September. If you're a Hocus Pocus fan, people are really excited about that. Get your kids into it. I know some people are throwing a Hocus Pocus party. A lot of girls are doing it with their girlfriends. Do it with your children. You can make, and I'll, again, share some of these ideas at the end of my video, but you can make little like witches broomsticks out of pretzel sticks and plastic baggies, give that to your kids with some dips, and gather on the couch and watch the new Hocus Pocus movie, or some of your favorites. Like I said, if your kids are a little bit younger and they're not ready for that type of, witch culture or different things, if that's not something that you think they're ready for, the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, have a little Charlie Brown, party at home, and tell them about it ahead of time. Hey, Friday night, we're having a Charlie Brown themed, fall party, and we're gonna watch this movie, and these are snacks that mommy's gonna make, and we're gonna be in our jammies and snuggle up with blankets. If you have, twinkle lights or something that you can put up to just make it magical, we're gonna do pizza for dinner. Give them something to anticipate. That's the magic of the season. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Those are the things that they'll remember. They won't remember what you're wearing, what your hair looks like, how much money you spent on decoration. They probably won't even remember if you do have decoration, but the magic of that night of being with mom, or mom and dad, and watching, a fun movie and having some treats, they're gonna remember that. So don't get so caught up in making the house look perfect, or making sure everybody has matching pajamas, or that the picture for social media is going to be, impressive or entertaining, because the only person or, people you should be trying to impress or make an impression on are your kids. And they don't ask for much, just your time and your thought. And so that's a great way to do that. So the last thing I want to talk about in terms of curating fall in your home and for your family is the decoration part of it. So I feel like, especially as like homemakers, or women who love to be creative and you love to decorate, that is a big part of the season, making your home feel like fall. And I totally support and myself participate in making my home cozy for the season. I love to decorate. Before I was married and had kids, I had my own house, and I went all out decorating from that. I've kind of adopted, different antiques and styles of decorating over the year. I mean, it's just something that brings me joy. And so I have my fall decoration stuff. And another thing that brings me joy that I love to do, maybe when I'm walking, taking a walk after dinner or something, is to watch home tours. And I don't know if you know that you could do this on YouTube, or if you're interested in it. If you're a decorator like me, you might be. But there are people who do home tours on YouTube of their home decor for all the different seasons. So they decorate for, fall, and they tour you through their home. And I'm not talking about like they show you how to decorate, and then they list all the items in the description. I'm talking about like they just tour you through and show you their home. And I love homemaking ideas. I love the inspiration, so I love to watch these videos. I just love the beauty of seeing what different women do with their time and their talents, and the different creative eye that everyone has. It's definitely brought out a different creative side in me. But I will say this, I don't know what some of these women spend on their decor, but my gosh, it either has to be like a good portion of their salary, or this stuff has all been accumulated over the span of like decades, because the transformations that they bring upon their houses, we're talking about fall today, but even for like Christmas, is crazy. I love it. It's beautiful, stunning, not practical. And sometimes it can leave you feeling a little less than. Sometimes I watch a video and I'm like, I don't have the budget or the time to bring that type of aesthetic into my home, even though I would love to, for my family. But I think as women, it's important to remember that even though that's something that maybe we would love to do, and to us it's like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that for my family, that's not fall to your family. Your presence and, your effort and what you're able to do within your means to maintain a healthy financial status for your family, to make sure that they're still eating healthy, to make sure that all of their needs are met, and still doing some extra on the side, that is so meaningful. So I would encourage you, if you do love home tour videos like I do, go ahead and watch them. They're super fun and entertaining. They're inspiring. If you have a little bit of budget every year to maybe get, one new decor piece or add, focus on one area of your home. Maybe you're going to put a coffee bar in this year, or an apple cider bar, a hot chocolate bar, or maybe you want to focus on decorating your coffee table or adding throw pillows to your couches or what have you. If that's your thing, definitely watch, because there are really great ideas, and a lot of times they do link the items that they're showcasing in the show notes for you. So if you're not able to get out and go shopping physically, it's a great way to find what you need online and make sure that you get the pieces that make you happy. But in terms of, doing it for, for your family, remember that that's not what fall means to them. These material things, these, $5 items or super expensive items, like, to them, it's all the same. They care about your presence and your time. So make sure that that's what you're focusing on for them. Also focus on the practicality of decorating your home. And so what I mean by that is I love a good tablescape. If you can see behind me, this is only a quarter of the island of my kitchen. We have a huge kitchen island, and I love a good tablescape. I love making personalized placemats that kind of add to the theme that you're going for, the ambiance of your home, and I feel like it's just a really cozy way to, to decorate. And if you're hosting parties, that's also a practical thing to do. So if you are hosting some parties this year and you want to, get some ideas about tablescapes that you can do on a budget. A lot of these are, dollar store items or, thrift items or things that you can find in the $5 bin at Target. Watch these homemaking videos. For me, just a tablescape to have out for the sake of having out, like a lot of people do during this time of year, isn't practical, because my daughter is always sitting in my lap and she's grabbing at everything in front of me, and she is going to ruin that place setting or break it. She's going to smash plates on the floor. So one day when I don't have littles running around, I might decide that my investment that year is going to go into a nice tablescape. But for right now, it's not practical for me. So with all that being said, I've decided that this year I've always wanted to do a home tour video, just because I do love decorating, and I want to show that a little bit, but my video is going to be a more practical home tour video. So it's not about showing off like my expensive decor items. I'm not going to be showing you any DIYs, like, how to make a centerpiece for your coffee table, or, making a fall blanket or anything like that, but just what a practical home looks like for fall, because I feel like there's no home tours of that. There are a lot of home tours of women who live in beautiful homes, and they have a lot of budget to go all out for the holidays. And like I said, I'm inspired by that. I love watching them, but I don't see myself in them. I don't find myself in them. So my home tour video, which is going to be here in a few weeks after I've redecorated. I start decorating tomorrow on September 1st. It's how I celebrate. My home tour video is going to be more of the real American housewife. It's going to be practical. It's going to be, like I said, I've been accumulating, decor items for several years now. Since I bought my first home in 2018, I started, decorating. So it's a few years worth of, of budgeting and, decorating. And so I want to be transparent about that, I didn't just go out and drop thousands of dollars on a bunch of, expensive decor items. And so I'll talk you through more of that in that video, but I just wanted to let you know that's what's coming down the pipe. And like I said, I think that making your home feel cozy is a part of fall. It is something your family appreciates, but it is not the most important thing. So do what you can. If you have some throw pillows or throw pillow covers are maybe a cheaper, more practical option for what you're looking for. Amazon has some, Hobby Lobby, Michaels, they all have throw pillow covers that you can use. But another way that you can make a more economical way that you can make your home feel like fall and celebrate the season is through food. And so you'll see in my recipe reservoir, I have some more fallish items coming. I have apple cheesecake bars coming, apple cider mules coming, all of my fall baking things I'll be sure to put up there in the coming weeks, but as I make them. But exploring your different senses and allowing everyone to appreciate the season through your different senses. So here's a good example. I don't go out and buy coffee. I know some people have the drive-thru every day. I don't. That's a special occasion type thing for me. But I do budget for ground coffee in our grocery list, and I make drip coffee at home every day. And so for me, it's already in my grocery budget, once a month or however often I need, new coffee. And so there's a maple flavored coffee that just fills the house with the scent of maple. It goes so well when I'm cooking with apples. It's like I said, it's already in my budget, and I don't have to spend a bunch of money on sprays or burning census or, wax warmers. I don't do any of that. And quite frankly, it's expensive to keep up with, and it's not practical because you also have to store those things and find the space for those things. And much like with the tablescape I just explained, when you have littles, candle warmers or burners, they're not a good idea to have around. For me, it's more practical to scent my home with the aroma of a fall-inspired coffee, a fall-inspired meal. Tomorrow, I'm making my family a special cinnamon roll baked oatmeal for breakfast to celebrate September 1st. They're all looking forward to that, and I know that's going to make our house smell delicious. So, just get creative, get creative with what you can do. Like I said, cooking and baking and using seasonal produce is a great way to add fragrance to your home, and to experience fall through taste. My husband loves apples. To him, fall tastes like apples. So I try to, that's why we're doing like the apple mules. Obviously mine's a mocktail. It'll be non-alcoholic, but, or the apple cheesecake bars. I just bought some fresh fruit at the farmer's market the other day, and putting apples on display, and a little fruit holder, maybe if you have some a plaid blanket or a scarf to put in there, or some hay or something, and boom, you have a visual fall piece in your home that's also practical, that you already budget for, if you buy fruit regularly. So, just getting creative and customizing, the fall experience to your family and where you are at in your stage of life, where your kids are in their season of life, what's good for them and what they would enjoy. What you and your husband enjoy, what you can schedule in for date nights, the foods that you enjoy take all that into account and don't focus so much on the aesthetic of things as you do on, just making sure that the experience and the joy and the needs of your family are met throughout the season. So I hope that this video was super helpful for you. I hope that you got some ideas of different ways that you can just keep up the spirit of fall, keep up the morale in your home throughout the season so that you don't feel like you missed it. And if you have any ideas that you would like to share with me for what you do during fall with your family, or how you keep the morale up in your home, or something different that you're trying this year, I would love to hear about it. Please join our Facebook group, The Real American Housewife, and feel free to just share it out. Share it in a video, just make a Facebook post, what have you. Share some pictures if you feel comfortable doing that. We would love to see it. Thanks so much. Happy Month's Eve, I guess it is. I hope everyone has a great fall, and we will see you back here in a couple weeks for my very practical Real American